Hey y'all, welcome back to episode 23 of the Late Night Vision Show. I'm Hans, and as always, I got my good buddy Jason. Jason, come on in. How you doing, bud?
Man, I'm doing good. Is it really episode 23?
It is episode 23. I'm going to tell you episode 23 is going to be, I think, one for everybody to get excited and remember because we have our very first giveaway. And I am pumped about this. But hey, tell us a little bit about it, what we're giving away and all the cool stuff that somebody could win.
We're giving away a lot of stuff. This is going to be our first big giveaway. It's not going to be night vision or thermal related yet, but we're going to work up to that. We've got some plans for that. But this is no small giveaway either. We've got a lot of stuff that I've put together, and it's basically going to be a kind of a goodie bag of stuff. And I'm not going to name everything that's in it, but I'm going to go over a few of the bigger things. We've got a tactical backpack. We've also got an Otis tactical cleaning kit that cleans everything from small bore all the way up to shotguns. A really nice cleaning kit. We've got an AR-15 gunsmithing book. We've got some electronic earmuffs, hearing protection. Mm-hmm. We've got a really nice small pocket-sized flashlight. We've got, let's see what else. There's an AR-15 magazine, AR-15 forward grip, a rifle strap. There's a bunch of stuff. There's more stuff in there of just a whole goodie bag of stuff in there, and I think it's going to be something that somebody's really going to want to win.
I tell you, I want to win it. Can I enter?
No, you cannot enter. You are banned. You are banned forever from all of our contests.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll take that. So here's how we're going to do this. And so giving away the contest, this is going to be centered around Instagram and Facebook. But to enter to win, we are going to make a post on both Instagram and Facebook on Thursday morning, the same time that this podcast come out. And all you have to do is go to the Late Night Vision Show on Instagram and the Late Night Vision Show on Facebook. Comment to the picture. Just say, I'm entered or I'm in. And you need to share that picture on your page as well. And you will be entered to win. And what we will be doing is on Tuesday, October 16th.
Yeah.
October 16th. Yeah. Tuesday, October 16th. We're going to be picking the contest will end by 5 p.m. and we'll be picking a winner and sharing that on the following podcast episode the following Thursday.
Yeah, and I just want to reiterate that one more time just so everybody's clear. Thursday morning.
It's a little confusing. Yeah, I'm starting to confuse myself.
It is confusing. No, you got it all right. But so Thursday morning, we will have a picture of all this gear, everything we're giving away. We will post that on both Facebook and Instagram. You can go on there, comment, say I'm entered to win, and share it. You also have to be following the Late Night Vision Show on Instagram. If you want to enter that way, and you share the post on your Instagram page, or you go to Facebook, you have to like the Late Night Vision Show and share that on your page. You can actually do both. If you want to do Facebook and Instagram, you can do that, and that counts as 2 entries. If you just want to do one of them, that's perfectly fine too. So basically, whatever media you go to, Facebook or Instagram, you need to like or follow the page, share it, and then make a comment on that picture that says, I've done it and I'm entered to win. And we are going to check. We're going to do a random drawing, and then we will make sure that person has actually done all those things, commented, shared it, and following the page. And then we will, like Hans said, announce it on next Thursday's show. 5 p.m. Tuesday, October 16th. We're cutting it off then, and we will choose the winner between then and Thursday.
So check out our Instagram page and also our Facebook page for the Late Night Vision Show. With a copy of the post and the picture of the giveaway will be the instructions again. So if you forget by the time you see this or hear this, then you'll get to go over there and check it out. But the instructions will be there as well. But man, I'm excited about this giveaway. I know that this is going to be a great thing for somebody to win. I love backpacks. That's one thing about me and my wife. For some reason, man, I got so many backpacks, but I love them. And I get excited about backpacks and jackets. So what it sounds like, I should be a teenager that lives up north somewhere.
I think so. Yeah, you don't need any of those things down here, but that's okay.
My wife gives me a hard time. Every time I go to the store, I come back with a jacket and some type of bag. So,
I know. Well,
but I'm excited. Yeah.
Well, you cannot. Crystal cannot enter for you. Okay. I'm going to ban everybody from the Hans household. Okay. So your daughters can't enter, and
You will check too.
I will
There's
check.
no doubt.
I'm going to be checking.
So everybody, please check that out on our Instagram and the Facebook page. Check out that picture. Please like it. You need to share it to enter to win, and also comment to the picture saying that you're entered to win. And like Jason said, we'll pick a winner. We'll do that drawing on October 16th by 5 p.m., and then we'll announce the winner on the next podcast.
Yeah, and I want to say one more thing about, we're talking about Instagram and Facebook. We've been getting some people that have been sending us pictures. They've been emailing them to us at thelatenightvisionshow@gmail.com. They've been sending them to us. You can text them to us at 903-833-4461. And I'm going to tell you, we've been trying to reshare those on Instagram, some on Facebook, and we appreciate it. It's fun. So, take a good picture and send it to us, and we like the feedback. And look, folks, I mean, this giveaway, we want it to be fun for y'all, but we want to grow our Facebook page and our Instagram page. We want to grow this show and just reach more people. And it's a lot of fun in the process. And if somebody can win something, then that's all good too.
Yep, exactly. And I love seeing pictures of dead hogs.
That's right.
I get excited about it. Nothing gets me more excited. But hey, you also, I'm a little bit jealous of you because you have the brand new Envision Atlas that you're testing out right now, and I'll be getting that soon. But man, you're getting to play with it right now.
I know. Speaking of the show growing, I mean, that's something Envision reached out to us, and they said, "Hey, look, we would like y'all to use this. We know you and Hans get out in the field a lot, and we want y'all to go test this out. Give us an honest review of it." And so we said, sure. We agreed to do it. I'm going to have the thing for a couple weeks. I've already had it for almost a week now. And then Hans is going to get it for a couple weeks, and then we'll probably be doing some YouTube stuff on it. But we're going to see if we can't get the Envision folks actually on the show as a guest as well and talk to them about what they're doing over there at their company. They got some exciting things coming on, some things in the works that I think are going to be really cool. And for those that don't know, the Envision Atlas is a biocular, and so what that means, it has a single objective lens, but it has two eyepieces. So you look through it like you would binoculars, but again, only one objective. And it's thermal, and it's high-end thermal. It is a 640 by 480 12 micron core, and the image quality is extremely good. Like think Trigicon good. That's what you need to be thinking about. I mean, it is creme de la creme, high-end. And I'm telling you something, I've been really impressed at the identification range that I've been getting on hogs, deer, and what have you out there at very long ranges. So anyway, it's a lot of fun to play with, and we'll be talking about that more, but want to say thanks to Envision for sending that out to us.
Well, I've seen some other people have it and tested it out and used it, and man, it does look, the picture on it looks amazing.
It is.
And I can't wait to get it over here and test it out. But on a serious note, we've got some more industry news to share. And, hopefully for the listeners out there that are tuning into this show, I'm going to brag on you, Jason, because, Jason, with being an insider in the industry, doing this all day, every day, not only is he a dealer for night vision optics through Outdoor Legacy, but he's also using this stuff out in the field every single day, just like a lot of us are out there hunting and testing these products. One of the great things about having you on the show, Jason, is the fact that you're able to share information with all the listeners out there pretty much at the same time that other people in the industry are finding out about it. And those are people that are, working in the industry, but our listeners get a chance to kind of hear that information at the same time they do. So I know you've got some breaking news about the Pulsar LRFs, the laser rangefinders. So why don't you go ahead and share that with everybody?
Well, thank you for the kind words, Hans. Yes, the Pulsar Trail mythical laser rangefinder that everybody's been wondering if it's really ever coming or not. And, as most of y'all know, Hans and I had a demo of that Pulsar sent us back during the summer. We did a lot of testing on it and really liked it. And the story has been that those are coming this month, October 2018. And like there was confirmed they should be shipping in. But I got an email after 5 o'clock today and I believe this to be public information, so I wouldn't share it if I didn't think that it was. But
Oops.
yeah, let's hope so. No, I think so. I got an email after 5 o'clock from my rep that was kind of some breaking news. I know a lot of other dealers probably got it as well, and that said that not only are the trails coming with the LRF, we were expecting those to be only in the XP50 and a few maybe in the XP38. Those are their 640 by 480 high resolution models. But to everyone's shock, Pulsar didn't know about this. We had no clue that it would be coming this year, even if it would ever. But they're going to be getting, supposedly, even on this first shipment, a small handful of the Trail laser rangefinder units in the XQ38 and the XQ50. Now that's huge news.
Yep,
there was always some rumors that those might come out next year. It might be something that happened. It might not. We really didn't know. They didn't even have a price or a model number for them, but they've got it now. And so my rep sent that out. And so laser rangefinder attached to the side of a Pulsar Trail, going to be the XQ38 and XQ50 as well. That is a 2.2 optical and a 2.8 optical magnification respectively. And preliminary pricing, this is what was quoted, so I hope this is going to be right. We're looking at $37.99 for the XQ38 and $42.99 for the XQ50. And that's basically going to be about a $500 increase over the regular models. And I'm going to tell you something. If these things really come in, they're going to be hot items this fall.
Yep.
They're going to be hard to get. The XP50, we already knew they're already, all pretty much sold. I mean, we've got the first ones that we're getting are already sold. I've got more on order that aren't sold yet, but but to not even know that these are coming, a lower price point. I've had a lot of guys asking, and I've told some guys very recently, and if you're one of them listening to the podcast, I'll apologize. I said, no, I don't see those happening. I don't see anything this year. We didn't. We had no clue.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm very excited about it, and I immediately replied to the email and put in my order for these and said, ship ASAP. So if that's something you're interested in, I would say, give me a call very quickly. And if it's something that you want, if you got questions about, I'd be glad to answer. But if you think it's something you want, I would get on the list, because between now and January, February, those are going to be hard to get in hot items.
Well, that Pulsar Trail XQ38 is one that I get asked about a lot. It's a big seller. It's a great value for the $32.99. The Trail XQ38. But now you can get a Trail XQ38 with the LRF on it for under $4,000.
Yeah.
Which, man, what a deal! What a great deal that is.
And I know that the XQ50 is really popular with a lot of the coyote hunters. It's actually really popular with a lot of hog hunters, but especially with coyote hunters, just because it's got that little bit of extra magnification. And I don't know how many times I've been asked by some of these guys, up in the Midwest and the North, hunting coyotes, say, man, I wish I had a laser rangefinder on there.
Right.
And so,
yeah. Yep.
To the shock, my shock, I think Pulsar USA, I think they were surprised to hear that these things are going to be coming in. But anyway, that's the news that we have for now. Anyway,
I was surprised too. I was with a guy last night, and I was helping him sight in his brand new Pulsar Trail XQ38. He said, "Man, I'd love to have one of these with a laser rangefinder." And I said, well, you might be able to get that, but it's gonna be on the XP50 model, and it's it's going to be quite a bit more expensive than what you got now. Had no idea, and just a day later, that news broke, and they're coming out with them. So man, that's a huge breaking news announcement. And again, Jason, that's why we're glad that one of the reasons why we're glad that we have you here and able to share that.
Is there any other reason? I'm just curious, but no. You'd have to think on that. Don't put you on the spot. Well, one thing I want to say. Look, we might as well bring this up, because there's guys listening to this show, and they probably just bought an XQ38 or an XQ50, just like your friend there you were helping last night. And we talked about this, I think it was last week, and it was last week or week before on the podcast where this, do I buy it now? Do I wait? And this is one of those things. This is a sneak attack. This is nobody expected this.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't expect to see this year. We didn't know if it would even ever happen. And so it's just one of those things. And I know guys are like, gosh, I just spent all this money and there's this.
Yep.
It's always the way it's going to be. And it's not just thermal scopes. It doesn't matter if it's pickup trucks or backpacks or rifles or whatever. I mean, you can find the best caliber in the whole world, and guess what? Next year somebody's going to have it, something better, and they're going to improve, and there'll be a Creedmoor. Put Creedmoor on the end, it's got to be better. So, but you know what I'm getting at, seriously. Yeah. So it is what it is, and I do feel for guys, but I'm like, it's not ever going to stop. The wheels are constantly turning.
There's no way to predict it because it seems like even some of the people that are selling this stuff find out at the last moment. Yeah. So there's no crystal ball. There's no way to get ahead of the 8 ball on that. But
no, the good thing is, I was just going to say this. The good thing is that there's very few manufacturers of this that it's available to U.S. consumers. So if you had 50 companies that were selling thermal, then this would be nonstop, never ending. But since we've really only got 3 or 4, we can kind of see when things are going to be coming out. Normally, again, we keep that product cycle of the new stuff coming in, being announced in late January at SHOT, and then coming out, dribbling out through the year. There's always these sneak attacks like this, but if there was a whole bunch of companies, it'd be worse. So we need to be thankful it's kind of like it is.
Yeah, for sure. Well, today we're going to jump right into our topic, and I want to say jump right into our topic. We had a lot to talk about with the giveaway and the breaking news and all that kind of stuff. But today we're going to do some listener feedback and some questions from some people that have called in and left some voicemails and also have sent us emails. We've got a lot of feedback from a lot of people. So if we haven't got to yours yet, please keep sending them in because eventually we will try to get it on the show. And again, we'll just use your first name and where you're from. We're not going to share anything about you other than that, but we definitely want to hear from you. And Jason, we got a few to go through today, and I'll let you kick it off because we've got speaking on last week's topic with hog hunting and deer hunting, and if there's anything that as far as scaring off the deer and hog hunters. So I'll let you share yours. Sure.
We knew that was, somewhat of a controversial, subject. And we know that, you would think, a lot of people, when I was talking to some guys about this, they said, oh, well, all your listeners are hog hunters, so I know what they're going to say. They're going to say it doesn't scare off the deer. And I'm like, yeah, but a lot of these guys are deer hunters first. And so we did. We saw some mixed results. Some of the feedback that we'd gotten was, oh man, it scares off the deer, and a lot was the guys that are like, oh, it doesn't bother them at all. So we knew we were going to get some of that, but we did have some interesting things and one thing that really stuck out to me was one of our good buddies and a listener that is doing a lot for the podcast. He's always sharing stuff on Facebook, and he's a super guy. He's over in Shreveport, Louisiana. His name's Scott, and Scott posted this on Facebook. He said, Louisiana will not let you hunt hogs at night from September 1st to the last day of February. We have a night season from March 1st till the last day of August. My 2 cents. During deer season, the deer will go nocturnal due to hunting pressure. So hog hunters out during the night might help by causing the deer to move more in the daylight hours. Well, he's got a lot going on there. The first thing is I was just shocked. And I mean, when I saw this, I called Hans. I'm like, you're not going to believe this. Our next door neighbors, I had no idea. It's 30 minutes away from me. And I did not know that September 1st, when they start hunting deer, that they can no longer hunt hogs at night all the way till March 1st. That just blew my mind, number one.
No clue.
No clue. And then his second comment, which actually, Scott is an eternal optimist, obviously. I like this. This is great. He says, during deer season, deer will go nocturnal because of the pressure. True. Most people agree with that. And then he says, so hog hunters out at night may help cause them to move during the daylight. I like that, Scott.
I like the way he thinks.
That's a good idea.
That sounds very logical.
It does. And he was upset. I mean, he made another comment or two there that just said, hey, I wish they changed that. But it is what it is. And I'll tell you, Hans and I, talked about this. I cannot imagine, and Louisiana's got a lot of hogs in it. I cannot imagine the population boom that must go on between September 1st and March 1st. If you did that in Texas, good gravy, they'd take over.
Right.
I mean, I just can't imagine.
That's exactly right. Well, that's a good point, and something that obviously I don't think either you and I knew about, but we're definitely surprised, and that's golly. But hey, I want to kind of follow along the same lines. Another good listener of ours, and a guy named Dan out of Florida, who they just made it through one hurricane, and now it looks like they got another one coming through there again out there on the east, in the Panhandle in Florida. So, Dan, I hope everything goes well with you out there. But Dan wrote in a long email after that podcast. He had made a lot of good points. I'm going to pick out one thing briefly that he spoke about that you just kind of touched on, but we didn't talk about last week. And he said, hogs can reproduce any other hooved animal on earth. Deer cannot possibly match the fertility rate of hogs. More available food means more hogs, not more deer. That's how hogs have overrun half of this country, and the trend shows no sign of reversing. So that's one thing we didn't talk about, is how much and how fast they reproduce in the litters that they have, and the amount of times that they are delivering these litters, that it's just overrunning. And to quit hunting these hogs for 3 or 4 months out of the year. Just imagine how many more are multiplying in that time, that are just continuing to spread, because we know hogs can start reproducing at 6 months old. And
a short gestation period, 6 to 8 piglets in a litter, almost no natural predators. They can. I mean, I'll be honest, I know how much they reproduce, but I never thought about them being the quickest and most prolific reproducer of hooved animals. But I haven't looked that up, but it sounds very, very logical, Dan. I think it's right. I mean, that's
I can't think of any other. But Dan, thank you for that. Dan's another one of those guys that reaches out to us all the time, and a lot of topics, suggestions, questions, and different things. So we appreciate your email, Dan.
Yeah, and I've got one more thing, and we don't mean to beat this horse to death here, talking about the deer versus hog hunting, but so here's something that I found really interesting. A couple days after the podcast was released last week, a friend of mine posted an article on Facebook that was just a great article, and it was put out by the Quality Deer Management Association. And I'm going to just read one paragraph. It's a long article, but I want to touch on one thing here that I think will probably give some good scientific data to the idea of what the pressure of being out there hog hunting, what have you, what that does to deer hunting and the deer movement. So this article is several years old. I want to say 2013, but the author was Matt Ross, and he had compiled a huge amount of scientific data from GPS collared bucks. I think he had does too, but a lot of what he was talking about was the buck movement, and it was a fascinating article because it was scientific, and he didn't just take 10 deer on one spot. He compiled all the data that he could on GPS collared deer for years, and it was really interesting. So I felt very confident reading it. The conclusions that he had come to had some validity to them. They might not be true, every single deer in every single location, but it was across a lot of areas, a lot of deer, and a lot of years. And it was really interesting, some of the conclusions. So we'll put a link in the show notes to this article in case you want to read it. But I'm going to read this one article, and the title of one paragraph. The title of the article is 10 Things We Know About Mature Buck Movements. And so he said this: bucks respond quickly to hunting pressure. How many times can you hunt before that buck you've been after catches on? Well, luckily, a few studies that had GPS collars on mature bucks wondered the same thing. From this, we know that deer do respond to some level of hunting pressure. For example, on 2 projects where deer had spent considerable daytime hours preseason in open fields and food plots, the same individuals intentionally avoided those same areas until after dark once the season opened. The fact they continued to use them confirmed their value. All right, so I'm going to stop right there. So what he's saying is they've got these bucks that are using these food plots and these fields to eat. They've got the data. They're there over and over and over. As soon as season starts, they get the pressure. Those bucks come back to those same locations, but at night only. So they're showing that is a valuable spot for those deer, but with the pressure, they went to night. So let me keep reading here. Okay, so that response may be obvious to most hunters, but at least the GPS collars prove that daytime avoidance and nocturnal use occurred. Another study tried to quantify how much is too much hunting pressure. They found that at one hunter per 250 acres, minimal effect could be seen on the way bucks move. However, at one hunter per 75 acres, bucks responded by choosing thicker cover. They traveled less, and the observation rates and hunter success decreased. And once the season opened, it only took 3 days for bucks to change their behavior. I'm not saying that is a threshold in the same where you live, but clearly there is a breaking point where too many people in the woods affect your ability to view and harvest mature bucks. It's likely impacted by topography, amount of cover, and hunting technique. You'll have to collect your own data to hunt and figure out where that point is. I thought that was really, really interesting. So,
Yeah,
again, we go back to, though, I think in closing this topic, I think our point is still valid that, we can argue of whether the bucks are, impacted and whether it changes their behavior. I think there's some scientific data to prove that. But if you have hogs camped out at the feeders and they are just there every time the feeder goes off, eating all the corn and running the deer off, then you're for sure not going to see them. So it's still, you go full circle. I think, there may be the lesser of two evils. You may have to go out there and shoot some hogs just so you can see some deer.
Yeah, it seems like, goodness, it seems like difficult from either position that you're in.
Sure, it is.
There's struggles on both sides, but so let's get into the next one because we get to hear a voicemail on this one. I get excited about hearing people's voices and the people that take time to call in. So the first one here, we've got Clint calling in. So we're going to go ahead and play Clint's voicemail right now, and then we're going to talk about it here on the other side of it.
Okay, let's roll that.
Hey guys, my name's Clint. I've called you guys earlier in your when you guys kind of got started. Love your show. One thing I haven't heard you guys talk about, I'd like to hear you guys touch on, and I think I know why. It's probably just because of the price point. One thing I have not heard you guys mention or talk about at all is the Trijicon Reap IR. I was wondering if you guys have spent any time playing with that, and my dad has just recently purchased one, and it is pretty awesome. I just haven't heard you guys talk about it. Wanted to get y'all's take on it. Thanks. I love you guys' show, and keep it up. Have a good one.
All right. Well, first of all, we want to say thank you very much for that. Yeah. Clint, we appreciate the comments. And I tell you what, it's funny that you would mention the Trijicon Reap IR because I've actually got one locked and loaded right now on my rifle. We haven't talked about that much, but I am running one again right now, and so we're going to be doing some talking soon. I know that Hans has got some plans to have a Reap, maybe another Trijicon of some sort, on his rifle very soon, and we'll be talking more and more about them. They are amazing optics, and they're definitely the top of the line for the consumer market, and the image quality is there. They're unbelievable. I mean, right now I don't think there's anything really that compares to them out there, and so I've got that Reap fired up. And it's amazing what they can do.
Yeah. So we appreciate it, Clint. Stay tuned because we're going to have more on that topic. I promise you, we'll have some thoughts, some we'll probably have some kills with it that we'll be sharing on social media. So just stay tuned for that. But we appreciate your voicemail, Clint. We thank you for taking the time to reach out to us.
Absolutely. So we've got another one, and Hans, this one's going to be for you. This is going to be, I know, it's a question for you. So this is going to be Michael, and he goes by Hog X Terminator on Instagram, and he called and left this message, and I think he reached out on Instagram as well. He is from Alabama, and he has got this question. So let's go ahead and roll that here real quick. Let me get it set up and going.
Yes, hi. I love following you, whether I watch you on YouTube or listen to you on iTunes. But my question is, Hans, on some of his pictures that he has from Instagram, is showing his gun nicely mounted on a tripod. And I shoot a Sig Sauer AR-10 308, and I'm looking to get that gun mounted in a similar fashion as what's showed on some of your pictures that you have. So I love following your show, and love following you on Instagram.
All right. Thank you very much for that voicemail. We really appreciate it. So Hans, there's the setup. Tell us, what are you using in those pictures with your tripod? Tell us all about it.
Yeah. So thank you, Michael. I'm liking the name Hog Exterminator. Kind of sad that that's already taken now. I think I get some use out of that. But yeah, so what I kind of done on that is it's kind of I guess a hybrid a little bit, because I've taken, and I love we've talked about the trigger stick before. It's the Primos Gen 3 trigger stick tripod. My gosh,
say that fast 3 times.
Yeah, I know. The Primos Gen 3 trigger stick tripod. And
hey, wait a minute. While you're trying to recover from that, while you're trying to recover, I'm going to let you think that out a second. I want to make a comment that's something I've been meaning to say. One of our listeners had emailed us and made the point. It was Robert, and he said that we need to stress to people that it's the Gen 3 trigger sticks. I think that the Gen 1 and the Gen 2, there had been some issues with them. I don't know exactly what they were. He mentioned them, and then I actually had somebody else tell me that they had a Gen 2 and had problems, something with the legs sliding out. I'm not exactly sure. They'd gotten a Gen 3, and it was beautiful. Yeah. So he just wanted to make sure that if we were telling people to go out and get those, to make sure they get the Gen 3.
Yeah. Get the Gen 3, definitely. So I love it. I tell you, I've used it now for several months, and it's worked well for me. It's quiet. The trigger function on it, you just hit that trigger and the legs fall out real quiet. It's easy to set up, especially when you're holding a rifle in one hand and trying to set up a stick with the other. So I loved it, and I continue to use it, and I won't go anywhere without it. So what I've done is that comes with the the head on it, the whole, I don't know what you call
cradle.
it. The V-shaped.
It's a little V-shaped cradle.
V-shaped cradle. There you go. V-shaped cradle that the rifle sets in, obviously. So that actually comes off. You can remove that. It's just kind of slots in there and pull this little lever out, and it comes right off. There's a little attachment that comes with the Primos trigger stick that allows you to it's an adapter that allows you to attach it to different things, and I think it's really set it for, it's a mount for like cameras and different things, but it fits on to a product called the Pig Saddle, which is made by Shadow Tech and is sold by U.S. Tactical Supply, and it's a cradle that it's like a vice grip. It's on the inside. It's padded foam. You just turn that little vice grip wheel down until it tightens all up, and it'll hold that rifle secure in there. Now, I will tell you this. I do not tighten up that Pig Saddle mount when I'm just taking a shot on a hog. I don't do it. I don't feel like I need to do it. I don't feel like I want to take the time to sit there and crank that wheel all the way down before I have to take a shot. And really, the only time that I secure my rifle to that Pig Saddle and to the tripod is really only for pictures. So I don't know if that's the answer that anybody wants to hear, but that's exactly what I do. I only secure it there for pictures. Any other time when I'm using that trigger stick, the shooting tripod, I just rest my rifle in the cradle loosely, and it allows me to, a lot of times, Jason, as you know, when you shoot a hog, and that thing runs in the woods or something, you got to be able to get off that stick pretty quick and just kind of take your rifle in your hands and go through the woods without a trigger stick.
Or you got one running at you or running across or whatever else. Yeah, I don't want to be locked into that thing.
I don't like having my rifle locked in anything.
I won't do it.
Because I need to be mobile in a split second if I need to be, and I want to be able to take that rifle right out without having to flip a lever or turn anything and chase after a hog or get out of the way or whatever I've got to do. That pig saddle, I think it's, I had a buddy that gave it to me as a gift, so I don't know that I have the exact price, but I think it's a little over $100, maybe $120 for the pig saddle.
Yeah, I think at least. It's one of the less expensive options. Yeah, but it's still not cheap.
And
it's still expensive.
You're just buying the cradle part,
That's
not
right.
buying the legs or anything. So I think it's around I think he said $120, and he's a nice guy. He bought it for me because I had helped him out so much with some other things. So, thank you, Chase. I appreciate it. But the tripod though, the trigger stick trigger is how much is that, Jason? About 100.
Don't hold me to it. I want to say 125 to $140. It's somewhere around that.
Depending on where you look, the different prices. Yeah. But you can get online and see, where the.
Yeah, Hans and I mean, we're not going to get into it now. We've touched on these tripods a little bit, and I've been asked so many times, and I know we have talked about it a little bit. We'll probably do it on another show. And I'm sure that, the Reaper grip and some of these things that are, $300 and you get a really high-end tripod that, whatever. They're just not for us. Not for the way that we hunt. And like that pig saddle, I think that's a great option. It is more affordable from what I've seen, and it is great for photos. And I can see there are some times, especially maybe coyote hunting on a set, some different places where you don't you want to be hands off your rifle but have it there locked and loaded, ready to go. But without getting into a bunch of details, but he and I don't normally use those type of rest for, like he said, we just don't want to be locked in. We're getting really, really close to these hogs, and we need more mobility than being locked into it. I know I guess it was last week, had Max P50. I saw some hogs down there, got up to them, and I was, looking through the binocular, seeing them, and I'm just, walking in the dark, and I know right where they're at. And I actually walked further than I thought from the last time I'd looked. And when I silently set up the trigger sticks, threw the rifle up there, looked through it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm too close with the 1.6 power. I mean, I was on top of them. I was literally, and no joke, I took it and backed up about 15 yards because I was like, I was 20 yards or less. I was too close. And so, we do like to get close, and so we don't want to be locked in too much. But golly, those things look great holding the rifle in photos,
Yeah, so that's it works out great because it serves two purposes. I can use it out in the field, for shooting from just like I would a normal tripod, but also it looks great in picture. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Mm-hmm. I can only imagine if I had to lock my rifle into something every single time, me needed to get away real quick or chase a hog and me dragging this tripod across the field. I already have enough trouble setting stuff up when I'm getting ready. So that's really one less thing that I need. But it works out, like I said, some of those people that use that kind of stuff, I know they work for them and their hunting conditions.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like Jason said, we're getting up real close, walking through woods. There's sometimes I can't even set up a tripod because the brush is so thick that I've got to lean up against a tree. I can't even use a tripod. Yeah. And that happened to me 2 nights ago. So it's a little bit depending on your hunting conditions. Some tools work better. But Michael, thank you for the call. Thank you for reaching out. I hope I answered your question. If you need any more details about any of the gear or equipment that we use, please give us a call, email us. We're going to continue to have these listener feedback shows, and I just enjoy doing them, Jason.
Yeah, I think they're fun. And I'm telling you, we beg y'all for voicemails, and we get a good many, and we can't always use them all, but but send them. I mean, call us and leave voicemails because they're fun. I mean, we enjoy them, and we know that just talking to our listeners, everybody likes to hear that more than they like to hear us read emails and stuff. So we'll take those too. Nothing wrong with them, but if you can, call, ask the question, give us your feedback, show suggestions, whatever it is, because we take it all to heart and use it. And I want to say one more thing since we're talking about it. We are getting a lot of feedback, and we beg for it, and we appreciate every bit of it. Emails, again, messages, phone calls. It's getting to the point that it's getting harder for us to reply in detail to all of them. We are reading them. Hans and I were sifting through a bunch of these emails today and going, hey, we don't forget about this. We need to use this. And we've got too much stuff to use, but that's good. That's a good problem. Mm-hmm. We are reading them. But if we don't reply back immediately in a big detailed reply, don't think we're not reading it. We will reply to you, and we'll get them read. So we just want to say thanks for that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Thank you a lot. So don't forget, just to recap, don't forget the giveaway. We're going to be coming out with that on Thursday. Also, to find me, you can find me on YouTube at Hans ETX on the YouTube channel, and also on Instagram. You can find me at Hans ETX on Instagram. Also, the phone number to call into the show, I'm going to say it again, 903-833-4461. You can email us at thelatenightvisionshow@gmail.com. Please continue to do so. We get a lot of great feedback, like Jason said. Our podcasts come out every Thursday morning for the last 23 weeks, which is amazing. Almost half a year, Jason, that we've been doing this. But it's been a pleasure. Please check me out on YouTube and on Instagram, and I appreciate y'all very much.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, if you want to get a hold of me, you can find me on the social medias. That's going to be Facebook and Instagram. Just look for Outdoor Legacy Gear. Same thing with YouTube. Please go there and subscribe. Check out my videos. We've got some plans in the works to be putting out some more videos soon. And looks like I may be getting some help on getting some of those videos produced. And that's going to be good because it's a lot of time and energy, and Hans knows that well. Mm-hmm. So go there and subscribe. Most importantly, go to outdoorlegacygear.com. You can find all the night vision thermals, all the stuff we talk about. But if you have questions and if you need help, you can call me directly, 877-350-1818. I talk to podcast listeners every single day, and I really enjoy it. I love, hearing about their stories and why they like the show and if we've helped them or whatever. But again, I answer the questions and try to put them in the scope that fits their budget and fits their needs, and I'd be glad to do that too. Look, I'm going to just go ahead and say it, and I'll probably say it some more, but we're getting to the busy time of year. So if you call and I don't answer, please leave a message. I will call you back. It's just a matter of answering all the phone calls when they come in. And so I look forward to helping you any way I can. That phone number is 877-350-1818. And it is amazing. We've been doing this for 23 weeks, and I'm excited about episode 24 next week, where we will be announcing the winner of that giveaway. So again, go to Instagram, go to Facebook, and check that out. The deadline again, October 16th at 5 p.m. That is Tuesday. So definitely get it done before then, and we will draw a winner and announce it next week. So as always, thanks for listening to the show. We appreciate your support. Like, share, subscribe, do whatever it is. And thanks for coming back every week. And we will see y'all next week for episode 24.